everyone. My name is Miss Keller, and today I'm going to be teaching you about PBIS. But before we get started, I'd like everyone to grab a piece of paper and pencil, maybe something to write on. So we're going to be moving this down to the education lounge, where I have everything set up. We're actually going to be sitting on the ground, and if you don't feel comfortable sitting on the ground, there's a couple of chairs in the back if you need it. Please send people to people who need it. I'd really like if everyone can sit on the ground. The reason being, I would like this to kind of be more like a kindergarten, first grade kind of classroom setting. If you guys want to like kind of think about that, like over kindergarten, what it used to be like, kind of want to have that kind of environment in there. I'm going to have a few helpers throughout my lesson, and they're going to reveal themselves as the lesson goes on, so just be looking for that. So if everyone's ready, has everything they need, I would like everyone to quietly line up at the door and get into that
Cody, I videotape this.
Alright, well, we're going to stay at the 0.
Let's see.
Alright, I hope everyone's kind of comfortable. I know it's a little different, but I thought I'd do something a little different. So, how many of you have heard of PBIS before? Yes? Okay, well we actually heard about it at our tour when we went to Northern Maritime Country. They actually use it in their school. What PBIS stands for is positive behavioral interventions and supports. And what PBIS, their main goal is to correct or improve a student's problematic behavior in a classroom or in a school, to ultimately improve the classroom or school environment. PBIS can be implemented school-wide or throughout just a classroom, or it can be district-wide too. It all just depends on what kind of program the district decides to use with the school or anything like that. PBIS has 4 principles. They have primary, secondary, and tertiary. You all can see this. As teachers, we're supposed to teach positive behaviors. The first level, primary level, is where we're supposed to identify the problem and find out what works best using PBIS. In the secondary level, we're supposed to apply what works. Maybe one thing works. If it doesn't, we can find out what else works for them. And then that is reducing the current problem in the classroom or in school. At the tertiary level, that's where there's drastically reduced complications and the intensity of the cases that you have in a classroom or in school. All right, I would like to, hopefully this sticks on. Otherwise I'll just turn it off if that works. There is a really great source that I found doing my research. It's called PBIS World, and it kind of compiles a lot of the different programs that people or schools use all throughout the United States or all throughout the world. And it's kind of cool. Once this loads back up, I'll show you the website. And it goes through, and it's kind of a really big guide for if you're using PBIS in your school. It tells you what kind of behaviors that you could encounter and how you are, and it describes them. And then it says, does this describe your student? If yes, then you go on to find out what are the interventions that go along with that behavior. Just waiting for this to turn on. So while we're waiting, can someone describe a behavior that they have observed while they're doing service learning?
Oh my gosh, like loud, and they don't listen to like anything you say, and sometimes they just smell bad. And, like,
Let's keep it kind of like behavior-wise, please. What are the, has anyone noticed any behaviors, not necessarily like characteristics? Anyone? Yes, Ms. Wayne? Following directions?
never
Okay.
following directions. Like,
Oh, thank you, Mr. Clarkson. I appreciate your input. Thank you. All right. Okay, this is going to turn on. Anyone else have any other behaviors that they've encountered?
Is it distracted or like fidgeting or like playing with something other than what they're
Yes, definitely. Especially, what grade are you in?
I was doing a 34 grade.
Okay, yes, definitely in that age. It's when there's a lot of kind of hyperactive students.
they can't sit still. Like,
Yes, thank you very much for your input. Okay, so I'm going to do a teacher timeout really quick, and obviously Mr. Clarkson is one of my helpers. What kind of, using this PBIS world, what kind of behavior do you think that Mr. Clarkson was portraying? Anyone have an idea? I mean, yeah, take a second to look at all of them. Off-task disruptive. Okay. Anyone else have any ideas?
hyperactive.
Hyperactive. Impulsive. Okay. Yes. Actually, I did try to get him to be more impulsive. I asked him to be impulsive. So I actually can't click on it. But when you go onto impulsive, I kind of have like a disruptive / impulsive. So it could kind of be both. It's listed in those. All right. And it kind of describes like a lot of the things that you would see if the student was being disruptive or impulsive. So do all of these things describe the student? Yes. And then here's some interventions, and they have a lot of interventions. What I'd like to really point out is at the top here, it says try multiple interventions. Each intervention should be tried for a minimum of 4 weeks, and more than one intervention may be implemented at the same time. So what it's kind of saying is, don't try it for a couple days. You need to try it for 4 weeks. If that doesn't work, and they're still having problematic behaviors, try and move on to a different intervention. There are ways to collect and track specific data for each intervention. It actually has that at the bottom, like you can print off data tracking forms. And if your data indicates no progress after a minimum of 6 months, you may consider moving to tier 2 interventions. So that's kind of where the principles kind of work. Primary, you're finding out what is the problem. Secondary, finding out what works. If it doesn't work, you're kind of going to go back to start for vision. All right. So I forgot my hand in the classroom. Yes. Okay. Sorry.
You are the most quiet group of kindergartners I have ever experienced.
If I was a kindergartner, I would be out that door.
I know.
I'd be gone.
You'd be all over. Somebody would be up on the computer. I just said they're the most quiet group of kindergartners I've ever experienced.
So this handout, oh yes, Ms. Levine. Oh, sure, definitely. Is there anything in particular that you wanted to see, Ms. Levine?
Oh, I just wanted to.
Oh, okay. All right, so this handout is actually the brochure that we got when we went to the tour for Northern Lights Elementary. Different schools use different acronyms, and Northern Lights Elementary is Work, Respect, Belong. I gotta get my breath back and forth. That's how it's shaped right now. But so different schools use different acronyms, and I'm going to show you a video now. While you're watching this video, I'd like you to kind of compare what's on the handout to what you're seeing in the video to what you kind of observed while doing your service learning. It's kind of a fun video. Let's see. Everyone do that okay?
Space. Keep your hands to yourself and in your words. Words can hurt as strong as a fist. So use some very friendly like a flip of a wrist.
You get my dish? Now you see outfit. Sleeping, standing up, I got a name and I'm real. All you do is back up, back off, and get attacked. Listen to yourself before you start to attack.
Some people have a reason. They do what they do, maybe it's a song. Maybe it happened to you. Or maybe it's something in your life that you see. Or maybe on a TV or computer screen.
But it doesn't make it right if you know that it's wrong. You know the truth inside of the law. Be strong. Suspect! I-S-P-C-T. I give it to you, and you give it to me. Suspect! I-S-P-C-T. You gotta treat people respectfully. Suspect! I-S-P-C-T. I give it to you, and you give it to me. Suspect! I-S-P-C-T. You gotta treat people respectfully.
Children will build in the future, so use the tools that your school has provided to do the work. Gotta get the job done with the students, then it's time for a
On the run, eat lunch, then yes, recess, it's less, all play, no stress.
Hard work brings easy rewards and more.
Yes.
But you must respect the rules of school. 4 or 5 more.
Teacher.
Class, you gotta listen and learn. Raise your hand politely and speak when it's your turn.
Respect the students and their time. Please don't interrupt. Follow the directions so you know what's up.
Respect each other.
Don't make classmates feel alone. Lift them up, put some water on our plants, help it grow.
And if you have a problem and learn to use words, express yourself the way your feelings are hurt.
So focus on the mission at hand, and the plan is to foster your success. The not only is the best, you can do it with your teachers and your parents' support. You can shine most important when you get your report.
In your grade, you've been going down the road that you know, for your grade, for your job, for your show. So let me give you lots of smiling faces to check, but only if you understand.
Suspect! I-S-P-C-T. I give it to you, and you give it to me. Suspect! I-S-P-C-T. You gotta treat people respectfully. Suspect! I-S-P-C-T. I give it to you, and you give it to me. Suspect! I-S-P-C-T. You gotta treat people respectfully.
Okay, so that's the video. So comparing the video and the pamphlet that you have and the kind of your observations as service learners, have you noticed any of these things like kind of being implemented at all?
I know, like, the fourth grade classroom that I taught here,
Mr. Anderson, can you please sit down? I'm sorry, keep going.
he has a list of like the students who like all the time exhibit work respect belong, and he has the kids who sometimes do, and then the kids who have difficult time with it. So he knows right off the bat like who he can allow to go to the library by themselves or who doesn't do that, which is really cool because then if you have a student who can't do it, you can have them go with somebody who can. So he knows exactly like where they're at on the spectrum.
Very good example. Thank you very much. Anyone else? All right, we'll take a teacher timeout then. Mr. Anderson does a very good job at portraying. What kind of behavior do you think that Mr. Anderson was portraying? We'll go back to this chart here. This homepage.
Very easily distracted.
All right, let me take a look.
Out of seat.
Out of seat, good. So I chose, I wanted Mr. Anderson to kind of be hyperactive. Obviously, there's a lot of different things that children, like all at once, can be. Just kind of depends on the student and what works best for them, right? So altogether, what would we say that Mr. Anderson kind of portrayed? Would we agree hyperactive, disruptive, out of seat? All of those things pretty much? Okay, so we'll click on one of them. Alright, we'll do out of seat. It's been a little difficult for me today. Alright, well, I guess it's not going to work right now. So, what I'd like you guys to do is take out your pencil and paper, or if you want to look at this right now, actually since it's loading. So the student may frequently walk around the room, crumple up papers to get them and throw away. Don't have supplies, get up to retrieve them. So I would say yes, that describes a student. And then again, it shows all the interventions that you could go about doing for this type of behavior. And I like to point out, like, at the bottom it says, I've tried this one for at least 6 months. They've made a tier 2. Then it gives you a set of different interventions that you can do for that type of behavior. Alright, so the assignment that I would like you to do is answer these 2 questions. Now that we know a little bit more about PBIS. So I'll give you about 5 minutes to try to get this done. Yes, I am going to collect them. Thank you. Mr. Baker, do you know the assignment?
No.
All right, I asked the class to answer these questions and then I'm going to make it up. So if you'd like to start that, that would be great. Thank you. Once you're done, you can just raise your hand and I'll come over. Just a minute or 2 more to finish up. Alright, and I'll let you you guys finish up, that we're not finished. And I'd just like to take one more teacher timeout. You may not have noticed, but Mr. Baker over here was not doing his assignment. He was kind of asking, like, everyone in class, what are we supposed to be doing? I don't know what we're doing. So I'm going to go back to this PBIS world. And what type of behavior do you think Mr. Baker was portraying?
Unable to work independently.
Okay, good. Defiant. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyone else? Off task. Good. All right. I chose unfocused and inattentive, but all of those ones would have been absolutely perfect. So we can go to off task, or sorry, he wasn't really disruptive, so we'll go back. Non-disruptive, would you say? Or which one would we say?
Either one.
Okay, we'll go with non-disruptive. So, and these are some of the interventions that we could go about doing to help Mr. Baker improve his off-task, non-disruptive behavior. Does anyone have any questions about PBIS? Yes.
I was gonna add though, like I have when I'm in my service setting, I have a kid that does this. He's not disruptive, but he'll just sit there and stare off into space for like a half hour instead of working on his assignment. So
Yes.
it's common, even though he's well behaved, he just doesn't do his work.
Exactly, and it's very specific to just this kind of behavior. You know, we'd click yes. You know, yes, definitely, students can be like good students and be off task or have like low self-esteem, but that's something that as teachers we kind of have to help them out with. And using PBIS, it's really nice to use as a guideline. Anything else? Any other comments, questions?
Do you know why it says 6 months you want to observe him for and not?
I don't know. Do you know Dr. Masterson?
Yes. And I'm not going to talk a lot about it because Ms. Niska is going to go into this just a little bit more, but the idea behind PBIS is you're doing these general, 1, 2, 3, 4s that meet everybody's behavior needs. Now when you start to isolate some target behaviors and you're going to pick one of these interventions, you actually want to know, are you getting a result from the intervention that you selected? And you want to, it's called progress monitoring. So you want to monitor if this is the behavior and this is what you picked, is it actually working? Because ultimately, if you have a whole bunch of behaviors you're working on and these strategies aren't effective, you might need to get some outside resources. So you have to progress monitor to have the data to say it worked or didn't work.
Anything else? All right, thank you guys very much.
Okay, we need just a quick class conversation, not about Ms. Keller's presentation, because we're going to do Ms. Niska's and Ms. Keller's feedback together. Ms. Niska, we have 15 minutes of class left. Do you feel comfortable getting a start with yours, and then if we have to break, picking it up after?
Yeah, that would be
Would that be okay with you? Because I don't want